There is a battle going on in Washington, D.C. tonight as this continuing resolution fails, crashed, and burned. This is the new one now. Yesterday, we went through this big, huge, pork-filled spending bill, 1,547 pages. Anybody that would have voted yes on that thing should have been immediately thrown out of Congress. So that was ridiculous. Today, after the pressure was put on by X and Elon Musk and Donald Trump, we shrunk that thing down to 116 pages. It was voted down no by almost all the Democrats and 38 Republicans. Okay, so here we go. It puts Trump in we got a little bit of a pickle here set right before he's about to take office. And so you had 38 Republicans side with the Democrats on voting no on this spending bill. Now, they're doing it for different reasons. Also, one of the biggest things that was about this was that this new bill, this condensed bill, took out the $70,000 a year raise for the members of Congress. So I think a few of them are a little bit pissed about that. But here's what I want to say. I know that everybody right now is screaming at these 38 Republicans that voted no. They're screaming for them to all be primaried. And I want to say we need to use a little bit of caution when it comes to threatening to primary people, all right? Because I think we're doing it too much now. Now, when it comes to Trump's nominations, if there's a senator that votes no against one of his nominations, like Pete Hegseth or Kash Patel, yes, those people need to be primaried immediately. If anybody voted for that crazy CR with the 1,547 pages, yes, they need to be primaried because those are huge alarm bells, huge red flags. But people that voted no, I have a hard time believing that all these people need to be primaried, which is what a lot of the big influencers are calling for on X now. Primary all these people. They're saying that they're owned by and controlled by the lobbyists. I don't see it that way, and I'll tell you why. Is because here I'm going to put the name of 38 people that are on the list that voted against this CR. And on that list are a lot of people that I've interviewed on this show, and one in particular, Eli Crane, I believe is the best representative of the people we have in Congress right now. And if I'm wrong on that, if Eli Crane is somehow owned by the lobbyists and he's a rhino and he needs to be primaried, then I give up on politics because I think this guy's the best. I've sat down and spoke with him. I've interviewed him several times before he ran for Congress. I think he's one of the best that's in there. Now, some of these other people that are on this list that I do not think need to be primary, I think they're good people in Congress. Andy Biggs, Tim Burchett, Scott Perry, these are guys that I think are MAGA guys. I think that they would do the right thing. They support President Donald Trump wholeheartedly. I think what the issue is here is these guys are not, those particular ones, are not going to vote yes on any kind of spending package, especially one that's going to raise the debt ceiling. They don't want that on their record. They're never going to vote for more spending. So I think they would rather shut it all down, and this is what may happen. It may come to just shutting the government down. Now, tomorrow we're going to get another package, and we'll see what that includes, if that'll lower the number of Republicans that are going to vote no on it. But shutting the government down, listen, we all went through this during COVID-19, and here's my message to the government workers that might be forced to step aside for a little while from their job. We understand what it's like to be called non-essential workers, okay? We were told that we were non-essential workers during the COVID pandemic. Oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, that's a non-essential job. Only essential people get to go to work during COVID. So we understand that. We also know what it means to say, hey, just 15 days to stop the spread, right? And so this would be 15 days to stop the spending spree. So we understand what's going on here. Sometimes this thing needs to collapse before it needs to get better. And right now, shutting the government down isn't the end of the world. And I think it's what's most likely going to happen, and probably what should happen at this point. The spending in Washington is out of control. Now, I think Donald Trump, Elon Musk are correct. I think they were able to wipe out so much of this nonsense that was in the continuing resolution. I think they could knock out more of it. I think there's still too much in there, but I think that we're going to see what happens tomorrow. So again, I just want to say I caution against primarying everybody, because when we use it too much, it means nothing anymore. And I think I think right now the threat of primarying people is very real. And I think people in Congress and Senate are feeling that. We saw that yesterday on X with the amount of people that came out on X to say, hey, this bill is outrageous. Nobody could read the freaking thing. Nobody knew what was in the freaking thing. And so you couldn't vote yes on it. If you voted yes on all this spending, you were just going to, there was no way you would belong in the party anymore. We would easily primary you and you'd be out. I get that. But right now, I think we need to see more And I don't think it could be this extreme when it comes to threatening to primary every single person that doesn't vote every single way that we want them to. Now, yes, we have a lot of rhinos in there. We have got this problem. There is an epidemic of rhinos in the House that we need to send a strong message to. I just think that we need to go about it the right way here. That's my take on this thing. And I think that we're going to find some kind of resolution, last-minute deal to keep the government going, because it's what always seems to happen. And so it's always us, the taxpayer, that gets screwed in the end. I don't think that they're going to find a problem. I don't think the government will be shut down. I think it should be shut down to show that we'll go the distance for it. But I don't think it'll happen. I think there'll be a last-minute deal tomorrow before the bell rings, and they're going to find some solution, and they're going to get this thing passed. So this is going to set up, though, because right now it's the Democrats that are stopping this from going through. And you have 38 Republicans that have gone with them. So we're going to see how this entire thing plays out. This is the political game being played in Washington, D.C. right now. And the loser is always you, and the loser is always me, the American taxpayer, the one that's getting screwed here. And of course, they can never just make it a single issue bill where people that need the relief from hurricanes and disasters can get their relief. It's always got to be tied to something else. Stop with, in 2025 has to be the year that we decide to say single issue voting bills. It has to happen. This way we can see where every individual stands on each issue. Because if it was just to help the people from the hurricanes and just to help the people from disasters, all these 38 people, or most of them, would vote yes for it, just for that single issue. So when it's tied in with everything else, that's where we have the problem, and that's where everyone can say, well, I didn't vote for it because of this, I didn't vote for it because of that, and the whole thing gets convoluted and construed, and you can always weasel your way out of it. Hold people are accountable, single-issue voter bills in 2025. Let's see what happens tomorrow with this new Speaker Johnson is going to put out. Now, again, a lot of people are calling for Speaker Johnson's head right now. They want to knock him down. What the hell is going on with this guy? He came in strong when he replaced McCarthy. Everyone was high on Speaker Johnson, and then all of a sudden, everything he started to put forward went downhill. And we're saying, what happened to this guy? This guy's another rhino. Let's get him out of there. Then all of a sudden, Donald Trump comes in. This guy's palling around with Donald Trump. He's going to UFC fights. He's hanging out on the plane. We're saying, well, wait a minute. Trump is backing Speaker McCarthy. Speaker Johnson. So Speaker Johnson's okay. Now Speaker Johnson puts out a 1,500-page omnibus nobody can read right before Christmas, even after he said he's not going to do it. And everyone's like, what the hell's up with this guy now? So there's a tug of war going on right now. What is up with Speaker Johnson? Is this guy just compromised? He says like, oh, I don't like the bill either, but I wrote it. I mean, I put it forward. What the hell kind of answer is that? So we're going to see what is being put together tomorrow for the new package. Maybe they'll bring this thing down to a 50-page CR. Let's just get the basics passed, and then let's talk about the rest down the line. We'll see what happens. The new one should drop tomorrow. They'll be voting on it again before the deadline, before the government shuts down. Check in with me. I'll give you my reaction when it all happens.